nigga, stay back. We had a couple of moments. You had a choice, nigga, on it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth, and we die with it. I see it like it's an obstacle. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of means to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All the young niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think what you had. Stop looking at trends. You wearing your heart like it's topical.
Clearly now, the pain is gone, the fame is on, and they play my songs. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do. I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said, take a look around you, nigga. Find your way back. Find your way back. Find your way back. I said, take a look around you, nigga. Find your way back. Find your way back. Find your way back. New era, I got y'all. Real game, we pop off. No knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines we find out. End game getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Yeah, talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do.
Swole Normus.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
You like that new? You like that new
Welcome
sack? You
to
like
the
that sack?
Daily Swole.
Dropped it over there. Testing, 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 testicles, testing, testicles, testiculares. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 1448 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and yo hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolecial. Let me just turn down that volume a little bit. How we doing, fam? What's good? What is good? Thank you. If you didn't check out today's video on the YouTube channel, on the Swolenormous YouTube channel, brand new one about your boy Vince. People have been asking about that for a while. Oh my God, I'm getting a V-Shred ad before every video. Yeah, it's called an ad. He runs them. And if you watch fitness stuff, you watch my channels, you watch Alan's channels, you're gonna get a lot of those ads. And I run ads too, but his shit is just fucking nonsense. It's just fucking nonsense. It's nonsensical. At least if you're gonna do a fitness ad, at least if you're gonna do shit, at least make it make sense. At least create some fucking content. At least give some goddamn fucking value. Nonsensical bullshit. The somatotype crap. Am I here to punish Amber Lynn again? She punishes herself. She doesn't need my help. She don't need daddy's help. Oh my God. So what's going on, fam? Welcome to episode 1448. If you're new to the Mancast, make sure to check out all the places to listen. If you can't watch, you can listen to the Slamcast. You can listen on Spotify. You can listen on Apple Podcast, your favorite podcast app, wherever you like to listen, you can listen to the Daily Swole. So make sure that you subscribe to the audio as well. It's not just a show. It is an entire experience. And we got all the gorillas to prove it. How we doing? So what'd you train today? What'd you slam today? We got a little bit, it seems like alerts are a little bit slow today. I don't know if the internet is slow today or if people are slow to get their notifications, but it seems like it's a little bit slow going through the door. How you picking me up? Am I sounding good? Do I sound hot? Am I on fire? I feel like I'm on fire. D2H, is Chantal's nuts on her chins video coming tomorrow? Is that the foodie beauty girl? I haven't decided. Should we do a vote? What do you guys want to see tomorrow? So here's one of the things I've been thinking. Either here on the podcast, we could do it here. We could do a vote. If you guys want to see something in particular. It depends if I have something planned. I'm not sure. But if you want someone to get some nuts, if you want to recommend or share the nuts, then make sure you drop a comment on the actual YouTube video. But we can talk today. You guys want to see a certain person. I'll do a video. I was planning on doing it, Chantal. I've never looked at her content. I saw a couple thumbnails and I got nauseous, so I stopped looking. Oh no. Oh no. Social distancing. Oh yeah, so let's get the swole card out of the way. So I don't know. What do you guys want to see? Who's nuts? Who deserves a pair of nuts? We should have a nutometer. A nutometer. We're going full sack. We're going full sack. Some people go full send. We go full sack. Social distancing is the card today. So again, brand new YouTube video, brand new drop on the YouTube channel. New nuts on shin. New nuts on shin. Delicious. When the fam recommended that shit, I looked at her thumbnails and I got sick. Oh, this is delicious. So I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that felt nauseous. You know what I said in was it the Amber Lynn video? It was the Amber Lynn video. I was saying how the worst thing to watch, it's not that you're just watching someone eat. I think the worst thing, or one of the worst things, is to watch an obese person eat. And it's not because people don't have to eat, because you can easily take that the wrong way. You could be like, well, obese people have to eat. What are you saying? Just people to starve themselves? No, what I'm saying is watching a mukbang or watching a binge eating video when someone that is morbidly obese. It's like watching someone play with it, like, talk about, it's watching someone kill themselves. It's not even watching someone talk about suicide. It's literally watching someone attempting suicide. Every day, every time an obese person is stuffing their face, they're tempting fate. They're tempting fate. They're saying, hey, they're just playing Russian roulette. They're playing Russian roulette every time. Every time they just add more calories. Every time they just add it on, pile it on. Another serving, another pizza, another. Just pushing the fucking envelope, right? Just every single thing just pushes it. Fuck. Eventually someone's just going to die on camera. And it's going to pull like a Logan Paul. And then they're going to upload the video. Oh my God, we watched someone ate and had a heart attack. Like, when's that going to happen? When is Trisha Paytas, or when is Nico Cotto? When is someone actually going to drop dead? When is Tess Holiday? When are one of these people going to drop dead? Now, I'm not saying I want anyone to drop dead. And I don't know, and I could be mistaken, but I've heard through the grapevine that Tess Holiday is losing weight, or she's trying to lose weight. But eventually someone that's big in the fat positive, someone that's big in the fat acceptance community, someone's going to die eventually. It has to happen. Someone's got to drop dead. It's going to happen. I think it has to happen soon. And not that it should happen soon. It should not. But we're due, right? We're due for something like that horrific to happen. I'm just surprised it hasn't happened already. But I mean, here's the thing. It happens every fucking day. It happens every day. We just don't, not everyone, the people that die every day from obesity, they don't have YouTube channels. They're not vlogging about it. They're just dying slowly and silently. They're just dying by themselves. They don't have a TLC show. They don't have people around them with cameras. They don't have 100 or 200 or a million subscribers. They're just dying miserable, maybe like broke and bankrupt and medically bankrupt. That's what gets me hot. And I know that's the same angle and that's the same perspective that most of us take, the Swole Vengers and most people that are talking out about fat positivity and this fucking nonsense, is that it's not glamorous. You have a few people like Amber Lynn and Tess and Trisha and Nico Cotto and those people that are obese and unhealthy that troll their audience, that just use this for views, for ad spend, for ad revenue, attention. And look, as much as I talk shit about all these people, and as much as I hate the way it sounds, the way it looks, I think it's fucking gross. It is attention. So there really is no bad attention. You learn that from Kanye West. There's no bad attention. You get attention, you can monetize it. You get attention, you can grow a business, you can get a following. You get a lot of people that hate watch Nico Cotto. Most people hate watch Amber Lynn. Most people hate watch Trisha. They just troll her and they insult. It's just a very negative profile. It's a very negative pages. You get a lot of pushback. It's more negative than positive. More people watch. I'm making content too. I'm not saying I'm not dogpiling. I'm doing it for views too and for the attention, but I'm providing a message. It's not just, oh my God, reaction, watching someone eat. I'm actually providing some content and a different perspective. So I feel like when I'm making these videos, the reason why is I'm showing those that are abiding by the 7 pillars and those that aren't, just exposing people and these kinds of mindsets. So it just reinforces what we're doing and it shows the difference in fundamental mindset. It's more than just views. It's how and it's more than just, oh, the sugar, it's addictive. Yeah, it's physically addictive. But again, I've been talking on the podcast lately about symptoms. And when you have someone that has, let's say you have cravings at night. Let's say you have cravings at night. Why do you have cravings at night? I mean, why do you have cravings at night? Why would you have cravings at night? Why? Maybe you're tired, exhausted, chronically exhausted. You're up too late. You're just sleep deprived. Your body wants energy. Oh, I'm so tired. I need energy. My body, your body says, I'm exhausted. We need some kind of energy. So your body has signals cravings for sugar and glucose. If we get sugar, then we're going to be, we're going to have more energy. So we're not going to feel so tired. Other reasons, you're not getting the nutrients you need. Other reasons, just habits in general. You start eating a lot at night, and you start eating often at night, and then you're going to start thinking that you need food at night. It's just habit. If you're used to watching TV or Netflix at night, forget the food chemical addiction, forget the exhaustion, forget the dehydration. If you're just used to eating at 10 o'clock at night watching Netflix, you're going to be hungry at 10 o'clock at night. I know this personally because I've done this. When I was bulking, when I first started training, when I was bulking, what was happening was I was eating every 2 hours, right? I was eating every 2 hours. So I would get hungry within 4 or 5 minutes of my timer going off. So my timer would go off every 2 hours. I would start getting hunger pangs. I would start feeling hungry like 4 minutes with a countdown. So the countdown timer would be counting down from 4 fucking minutes. So by programming myself by time to eat every 2 hours, literally when my timer went off, I would eat food. Hands down. When my timer went off, I would eat food. And it wasn't a debate about that. If I was hungry, food would be eaten. If I wasn't hungry, food would be eaten. It didn't matter. So my body just got used to eating on the time. Legit. So then I just started feeling hungry every 2 hours. Was it because I was actually hungry? Impossible. I just ate 2 hours before. My body was just used to getting food. So I was saying, oh, it's 2 hours. We get food, right? It was reminding me. It's like setting your alarm on your cell phone. So whatever you program your body to do, you'll get used to doing. It's not just the food. It's not just the exhaustion or the hydration. It's just the habit. It's the habit. It's like a conveyor belt. Your body becomes more efficient and starts expecting certain things. So you can. That's one of the reasons why you may feel cravings at night. Again, one, it's habits. But you also, if people are chronically exhausted, most people are not sleeping quality. First off, most people aren't getting the right nutrients. So if you're not getting the right nutrients, you're not going to get as quality sleep. You're not going to get as much repair. So you're going to be chronically more fatigued and more broken down, and your body might not be repairing as much at night. So if you are not getting enough sleep, you're going to feel exhausted because you're not getting enough sleep. Not to mention cortisol levels will be elevated because you're stressed. And if you're not sleeping enough and your body is chronically stressed, you're going to feel chronically drained and exhausted. So your body is going to crave more sugar because when you consume sugar, you get that little rush of energy. You get that rush of sugar into the bloodstream. The problem is if you do that over time in excess, that's what can lead to one of the things that can lead to type 2 diabetes and all these other issues, having too much sugar in the bloodstream. So you're drinking too much sugar, eating too much sugar, too much processed stuff, things that are spiking insulin. The pancreas is pumping out insulin all the fucking time. There's just tons of sugar in the bloodstream. And eventually your body may become insulin resistant and just kind of say, fuck you, insulin. We don't need to see your shit anymore. Too much insulin around. It's just everywhere all the fucking time. So your body kind of gives up and ignores insulin and just kind of shuts it off. So, or shuts off the receptors. Your body just kind of gets burnt out from insulin. So that's one of the things that you might notice if you're having these cravings at night. So it could be something where you're chronically sleep deprived. It could be your body is triggering a thirst mechanism or a hunger mechanism because you're not hydrating enough. Your body wants moisture. Your body wants hydration. But because you're not drinking enough water, your body will go to the next best thing. Well, I do get moisture when I eat food because your food has water in it, or you're drinking water when you consume food. You're having food and a drink. Unfortunately, most people, instead of having water, they have soda when they eat, right? So not getting real hydration. They're getting pure sugar and sugar water, plus they're getting food, so they're still dehydrated, so they crave more food. And obviously, water doesn't have calories, food does. So you tend to abide by those hunger mechanisms all the time. Then your body gets used to eating more, and then you get used to eating more carbohydrates, and then you're still dehydrated, so then you kind of still have that hunger. You see what I'm saying? It's like this vicious cycle of building more and more into this eating more, eating more, eating more, getting that energy, getting that energy. When those are all symptoms. Again, these are symptoms. So anyone that's around you, and a lot of you have people in your inner circle that don't take care of their health, that can't stop eating, that eat too much. And the problem is when you have this lack of fundamental approach, people that aren't trying to code over the 7 pillars every single day. Again, community, nutrition, training, recovery, mobility, mindfulness, those 7. I can't count on one. I always do this fucking weird finger thing. Community, nutrition, training, recovery, mobility, mindfulness, and consistency. If you're doing and you're focusing on the 7 pillars every day, what is going to happen? You will be focusing on the fundamentals. A lot of these symptoms, a lot of these results, the things that happen as a result of not taking care of your nutrition properly from the fundamental level. You're not doing your training properly from the fundamental level. You're still surrounding yourself with shitty people, with your community. You're not recovering. You're overtraining. You're under-recovering. You're not practicing any mobility. Psychologically, you're just fucked in the head because you're not taking care of yourself. You're not practicing mindfulness. These are all issues. These are all issues that people deal with or that people don't deal with, which leads to these problems of having body fat storage and like, hey, I have a little bit of extra body fat on my waist. How do I get rid of that? Or how come I'm having cravings at night? Those things won't happen, or they're much less likely to happen. You mitigate those symptoms because you don't have those fundamental problems that allow those things to arise. And people always ask questions about those issues, the symptoms. How come I have a headache? Oh, my head hurts. Do you have any Tylenol? I'm not going to give you a Tylenol. I'm going to help you not have the fucking headaches to begin with. And that's just one kind of analogy. So what we got here? Catherine, I watch the reaction channels about the mukbangers like ALR and Chantal, so I don't go down that route. That can be one of those things that people do to actually not overeat. It's fucking funny. Funny as shit. Yo, what's up, Alan? What up? How you doing, bro? Oh my God. What's going on here? The Chrome Dome himself. Yeah. We got to do another live stream. Taking out the trash. What up, dude? What the fuck is up? Yeah, Alan, you're going into like, I love your videos, how you go into, you bring up like the charts and the facts and shit like that. I don't have patience for that. I appreciate that you do it. I appreciate, yeah, send me a message, dude. I appreciate that you do it. That way I don't have to. It's just so fucking ridiculous. How stupid, and this is for everyone, how stupid is it that these accounts exist in complete fucking denial that obesity, all these accounts with the nutritionists that Alan's been covering, that I've been covering, that try to find every angle with every article and every study that shows or attempts to show that it doesn't matter if you're obese when you get COVID-19. How fucking reckless is it? How viciously reckless. You're you're just being obese. You're more susceptible to all sicknesses, to all issues. This is no fucking different. God, it doesn't fucking make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. They're absolutely evil. It's just mind-blowing to even look. I don't even sometimes know what to say before I do the video. I don't even know what to say. Where do you start? Where do you start? The video could literally be, this is just straight up fucking stupid and wrong. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. you have to give a little bit more context. You have to kind of lay out the same fucking facts over and over again. It just seems like you're trying to teach a dog, just an old dog, a fundamental trick, like to sit. It's like, fucking sit down. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Why can't people just be fat and quiet? Why do you have to lie to people? And what blows my mind even more is the following and the support. Like the fucking support that these accounts get. They're all verified. There are all these other verified accounts in the comments, like big accounts that are saying, you go girl, absolutely right, love this. It's weird. It's weird. Why would you want to put people in danger like that voluntarily? You're literally like, what's the harm? Like, seriously, think about this. What is the harm? How challenging is it just to say, exercise, do the best that you can to people that are obese? You're not doing any harm telling people to take care of their health. But not only that, they go the opposite. They're telling people to not exercise, that you don't have to, and trying to show how people do not have to take care of their fucking health. That's the evil part. If they were just either quiet or just said, hey, take care of yourself, be healthy, do the best that you can. Here's some exercises. You should be taking care of your health, eating healthy, blah, blah, blah. That's so easy. Yet that's looked at as diet culture. That's looked at as being evil. That's looked at as making people paranoid about their fucking weight. And what cracks me up all the time, is their fifis might get I forgot what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. Yeah, verified. I cannot keep a fucking IG account, right? You actually speak some truth. You get your IG account tanked. I'm surprised I still have YouTube accounts. I'm surprised. I don't know how that's fucking possible. Impressive. Hold on a second. We're doing some work on some of the bathrooms here, trying to fix some plumbing and stuff. So if you hear some noises, that's why. Let's see. From Alan, new study today saying that 94% of all hospitalizations from the virus had at least one underlying condition. 88% had two. The number 2 condition was obesity. The number 4 condition was morbid obesity.
Who told you could eat my cookies?
No fucking shit. All the soundboards for that. Just gorillas, Arnold, and just a huge dump. So at least one underlying condition. And they use the leverage of that. They try to make the argument that because when you look at the hospitalizations, it's not that when you're obese, and this is what they're saying in their comments too, in their captions, it's not that more people that are obese are getting it. It's just a reflection of the population. So it's not true to say that obese people get it more. It's just a reflection of the population. Everyone's getting it. Everyone's a victim. Everyone's getting it. It has nothing to do with whether or not you're obese. That's just reflecting that the population, the regular spread. And it's like, no shit. The problem is the actual fucking population spread, the normal spread, is fucking obese. That's the problem. The problem is that the spread is obese. So it's both of those things. Like, I don't understand how they don't understand. It's both of those things. Literally both of those things. Yes, it's that people that are obese have more problems. And yes, it's a reflection of the population. So as much as it might not be exceptionally more from, there's no disparity. All of a sudden, everyone's healthy. And then the 10 people that are obese in the country get sick. It's that everyone's fucking sick. Everyone's obese. When you have 50% of the population being obese, yeah, of course they're going to get sick more. It's both of those things. It's both of those fucking things. How is that not fucking obvious? How is that not fucking obvious? If you didn't have 40 to 50% of the population being obese, then you'd have less people that would get sick. That just makes sense too. But that's the problem. They'll pull up that concept as if that proves their point. Quite the opposite. It just means that we should have been doing this 10 fucking years ago, 5 years ago. Like, who doesn't see that? This is a reflection. The issues that people are having is a reflection of what people's habits have been for the past 10, 20 years. If you're 30 or 40 years old and you're obese, chances are you didn't get obese in the last year. It's been taking you 5, 10, 15, 20 years to get there. Slowly over time, maybe you went up, then you went down, then you went up, then you went down. It's like, Jesus Christ. It doesn't happen overnight. So now, and then you have the procrastination. Then you have the procrastination and the excuses. You have the procrastination and the excuses as to why you shouldn't start now. Oh, well, I don't want to start now because it's going to weaken my immune system. I don't want to start now because now's the best time. That's just an excuse. The best time to start is always now. The best time to start was 5 years ago, was 5 days ago. The best time to start was yesterday. So if you're not doing it already, you better fucking do it now. Now is the time to do it. Why are you going to wait? Why are you going to wait to take care of your health? Why are you going to keep on pounding sugar, eating crap, pretending like it's not coming for you? James, I wonder if the push to open things up faster has to do with the fast food industry. The only construction going on in my town right now is building 2 new fast food restaurants. Well, let's talk about this for a little bit because that affects a lot of people. What businesses are doing great right now? And which businesses are hurting the most? I think a lot of things that deal with electronics like Best Buy, Amazon, those businesses are fine. I mean, obviously gyms are hurting a lot. Big gyms are closing. I think small gyms and virtual training and stuff like that will win out in the end. That's why Swole Enormous X, that's why we're crushing it. Restaurants are hurting a lot, but restaurants are doing takeout or curbside delivery. But what else is growing or what else is really popular now? Things like Grubhub and DoorDash and these delivering fast food. So they're delivering restaurant stuff, but they're also delivering fast food. Fast food is cheap. Fast food is, it's that addiction. Your local steakhouse isn't an addiction, but your Taco Bell is, your 7-Eleven is, your chicken wings, like all that stuff, that's your addiction. That's your heroin, right? That's what gets you off, right? That's your shit. So there's no shortage and there's going to be no problem with fast food staying open because, and the same thing with alcohol, right? Wine stores or liquor stores have stayed open because they're essential. Okay. They're essential for people to not start riots because people need their drugs. Coffee's a drug. Alcohol is a drug. It's all drugs. It stimulates a response. But food can be a drug too. When we take it to that level, when you get that dopamine kick, and that's the problem with using food as entertainment, but that's the world that we live in. So you have these delivery places, you have, the drive-through, curbside delivery, whatever it is, and you have DoorDash, Grubhub bringing those things around. So they're already open. So I don't know. I mean, the longer they will definitely, and the problem is after a lot of these restaurants go under, the actual restaurants that couldn't adapt, that didn't have, maybe they have an older audience. For example, there's a restaurant, let's say that maybe caters to an older population that isn't as savvy with ordering, that isn't as savvy with the internet. They didn't know to go to DoorDash. They were on the edge already. They were kind of on the way of going out. So they didn't have enough capital in order to flip it. They didn't have enough cash on hand, whatever it is. So they're going to lose out. And then what's going to remain? The higher end places. The higher end places will remain. And then the fast food. Again, I think it's really going to be a lot about losing the middle. You're going to keep the crap. You're going to keep a lot of those chains like probably Fridays and Applebee's and stuff like that, maybe, depending on the company and how it's run. But you'll keep some of those. And then you'll have all the big brand ones like Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Checkers, Popeyes. All those things will be fine. and they'll just use like the delivery service and stuff like that. But you're going to miss a lot of those. You're going to lose a lot of those middle level restaurants. You'll have those real high end ones where, you know, people will, that'll be as like a status symbol. Like, oh, I only eat at Giorgino's. And they, you know, have they kind of get their fancy action from that. So some of those high end ones will be fine. And then the low end ones, that's how I think of it. It just seems like that. Where's my Swole card? Swolecial distancing is the card of the day. So hashtag Swolecial distancing, and you might win the card today. Let's take a couple. If you could keep on dropping questions, we'll get to some questions if it can, and then we'll go into some posts. So let's get into a couple other topics today, fam. Let's see here. Kyle. Hey fam, new to the group and pumped to virtual meet you all. Watched Papa Swolio's YouTube for a while, and the community he was talking about sold me. Looking forward to getting to know everyone. So welcome to the fam, Kyle. I can't take the name Kyle seriously. I just hear South Park in my head, and I guess, welcome to the fam, Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Oh, hey, Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Erica with an A. I have a part-time job at Dairy Queen. We're busier now than we were fully open. It's crazy. One of the women, or someone asked a question yesterday about her husband and how her husband goes through drive-through and gets ice cream or gets milkshakes. And I said, a grown-ass fucking man, a grown-ass man going through a drive-through to get an ice cream cone is weird as fuck. Weird as fuck. It's a weird fucking thing. That's a weird goddamn thing. That's my opinion. That's fucking weird. An adult going through. If you don't have like 10 kids in the car screaming, you're trying to shut them the fuck up. I don't think you should do that anyway, but yeah, that's weird as shit. So how many of you work in fast food or food delivery? I'm curious as to what the situation is. Hey, what's up, Clayton? Pop on the 65-inch ultra high def. How's the picture? How are we looking? You ready for this? Here we go. This one's for Clayton. Flex on him. How'd that look? Drop that comment down below. Am I looking sharp? Anything I can do to improve the man cast? Doing all right? Looking okay? How's my hair? How's the beard? Yeah? We're good? We're good? Okay. We're good. Hey, Cat. Oh, hey, Cat. Hey, Cat.
Yow. Yow.
Sarah, I'm teaching my boyfriend to cook because he has lived on going out and fast food most of his life. That is one of those things that families should really be taking advantage of. You can have so much family bonding over learning how to fucking cook. How many people in your household or friends, how many in your household or friends, how many of you completely have no idea how to use the kitchen? How many of you or how many of your friends and family members are just completely lost? They don't even know what that room is for. That room with the big sink and the cold box where you put the beer in, you put the ice cream in. Most people don't know how to use their kitchen. They only know the microwave, and that's not cooking. You don't use a microwave. People that really like enjoy their food and want to eat healthy, you don't use a microwave. It ruins that shit. Well, I've already had that idea. The ball cam. I had that idea. I'll probably do it for next episode. I was trying to bring Papa Swolio back, but I don't think that's going to work out. I was going to have a Tess Hornaday cam. So I have a couple other cams I'm going to set up. Don't you worry. We're going to take it to the next level. It's not going to be my ball sack because that'll be weird. And then I'll officially get kicked off, and then we'll have no more YouTube Daily Swole. We'll have to go completely in Swole TV just for the ball cam. Swolenormous XXX. Ooh. Oh, man. Oh. 2 of my college roommates had no idea how to cook. Conveniently, they also seem to have not known how to do the dishes. That's one of the worst things in college. No one does the dishes. I remember one time it was like 6 people. I was one of them. And a couple of these dudes were such slobs to the point where it was literally disgusting. I didn't choose them as roommates. We just kind of got mixed together. It was so bad. It was so bad. And everyone was waiting for the other person at one time to do, because I was doing the dishes all the time. And one of those weeks, it was just like, fuck this. I'm not doing the dishes. You guys have to do something. So I left it there to see what would happen. You ready for this? You ready for this? No joke. No joke. No joke. Those dishes sat in the sink for so long that in order to clean them, I did like 3 or 4 rounds of boiling pots of water to pour on the dishes to kill whatever was on those dishes. It smelled so bad. And there was like this jelly film on the plates. I can't even explain. I don't think there was actual mold. I think there was a little bit. No, maybe not. But it was rotting, whatever the fuck was in there, because it was probably like chicken, or people would eat like, it was college food. It was like canned chicken, just gross stuff where a couple pieces are probably down in the drain, but there wasn't a disposal. It was just a drain. So, you know, that food is just sitting in there. Oh. So eventually my friend and I, we had to go to like the local Walmart or something. We got like rubber gloves and we would just boil water. And we just did like 5 or 6 rounds of just pouring boiling water, because we didn't have money. We didn't have a dishwasher. It wasn't like a lot of these nice dorms that are redone today and stuff like that. It wasn't fancy at all. It was a standard concrete bunker type thing. But man, I remember how, don't let shit sit. Let's see. No. What's up, Aniko? I'm teaching my kids to cook all healthy. They're only 4 and 5 years old. They love to bake with me. There you go. Nice. Good for you. My husband can't cook to save us. Most people can't cook, which is crazy. You know, back in the 50s and 60s, they had home ec. That's really useful, by the way. Home economics, that's really useful. Teaching people how to do fucking laundry, taxes, how to cook. That should be in school. Why isn't that? I mean, look, it doesn't have to be in school. You should be learning that at home. But if people's parents aren't taking control, that is good education, isn't it? You have physical education, but they have home economics. Should be just home education. Here's what you can do at home if your parents aren't teaching you properly. Honeybee ASMR. That shit is that? Sounds gross. Sounds gross. That was not dishes not done. It was a science experiment. That's true. Can you create life out of trash? We did. We did create life. Absolutely created life. There's no question about it. There's no question about it that life was created, for sure. So what up, Lisa? Lisa's a brand new member of the Swole fam, so everyone say hello. Oh. So many trolls today. I'm not following what's going on in the comments. Just block people. If they're talking, if it's not adding to the conversation, just remove. You guys are moderators, right? We got enough mods going on right now. It's fine. I'm not seeing any of the comments, so you guys are doing a good job. Just ignore it. Ignore it. Just block, ban. You know, but allow freedom of speech. Don't, you know, I see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Here's the thing when it comes to trolling. We can just kind of cover this for a second. You know, when it comes to actual trolling, it's part of the game, and I get it. I personally don't give a fuck. I personally don't give a shit. I don't mind if people do it. What bothers me, like the only reason why I feel, you know, for a live broadcast, removing, blocking, deleting, I don't like doing that normally. I really don't. But the problem is it ruins the experience for people that want to be here and talk. So if it's a video, for example, if it's a video on YouTube and someone leaves a comment, It's a comment. It'll probably get flagged by YouTube if it's really bad. It doesn't show up anyway. It's automatic. There's like automatic filtering. YouTube. And if you post on YouTube and you swear, I mean, a lot of times things get automatically filtered out. So it's not even my doing. But here live, if it ruins, I mean, ignore them, definitely ignore. But at the same time, it can't ruin people's experience. So that's unacceptable. So you guys are doing this great. We'll have to, how many mods we got? We got what? Nick, Phil, you guys are good. We'll add a couple, we'll get a couple more mods, a couple moyas in there as the podcast grows, as we swell up, as we fucking swell up. Damn straight, fam. Let's see. My fat dad says farting means you're unhealthy. Well, actually, farting or gas, flatulence, if you're being professional, it could be a sign of like some kind of poor reaction to food. I don't think it's natural, but at the same time, if you're eating foods that cause you bloating and gas, that's not a good sign. Knowledge cock is swelling. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing. You burp, you fart. But like, for example, if you're eating food and all of a sudden you're getting super gas in your stomach, is usually that happens with bloating or gas. If you have a food that's causing a lot of problems, that's a sign that it's not reacting well for you. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay, so I didn't get back to Lisa's question. So, hello, I finally decided to do something productive during lockdown. I'll probably start with yoga and beginner classes, beginner exercises. I'm pretty fat and out of shape, but I think the fat activists would call me a, quote, small fat. Oh, this was funny in the group. Anyway, I don't know if I'm ready to radically restructure my diet just yet, but I want to get my body moving. So again, welcome to the fam, Lisa. I'm pretty fat and out of shape, but I think the fat activists will call me a small fat. Well, let me first off say that the opinion of anyone in the fat activist nation is worthless. Worthless. You do not have to attribute any value to anything that anyone in the fat activist community says. That's for goddamn fucking sure. There is no value in what they're running their mouth with. Absolutely nonsense. So that being said, just get back on it. Time to crush. Time to crush. You're here, you're in the right place, you signed up, you're in the right spot, you're here for a reason. It's time to fucking get after it, right? It's time to fucking get after it. So don't worry about what anyone says. Don't worry about what anyone says. Don't worry about their opinions. You know, when people worry about other people's thoughts, so if I worried about what people had opinions on, if I worried about what someone would think when I posted a video, I wouldn't have any videos up. If I worried about what people thought when I did a podcast, I could do a couple things. You could toe the line and not say and worry about what other people say. And that's what most people do. They toe the line. They go soft. They don't want to offend anyone. They don't want to say their true feelings. So they talk around it. They want to make everyone happy. And the problem when you make everyone happy is, or when you're trying to, you're playing the politics game. People know that. You can smell it. You can smell when someone's just rubbing your taint. You can smell it when you could sense it when someone's just blowing smoke up your ass. You can sense when someone is just telling you what you want to hear. Isn't that the worst? I think that's the worst. When you know that someone is just telling you what you want to hear. It's bullshit. You don't want to hear something. You don't want to be patronized. People want an answer, but they don't want an answer that's like, oh, fuck yourself. It's better to give the truth. It's better to voice your opinion. It's better to be authentic to yourself, because then people know what you're about. And you don't have to fake anything. That's why my message is so consistent, because I'm not making it up. My message is my message, and I don't have to think about it. I don't have to plan a whole fucking speech. That's why I can talk so specifically about what I talk about during my NOC videos during the podcast. It's like, these are my thoughts. This is what I feel. Here's the deal. And that's that. So there's no story to tell. There's nothing I have to remember because it's not inauthentic. These are my thoughts. And I voice a lot of them. And you don't have to agree with any of them. Of course, a lot of you do, which is fine. And you might like a lot of my content and you might disagree with one aspect of what I say, which is fine. And then you're obviously, like, we have people from all backgrounds and preferences and all that stuff. So you can enjoy the fuck out of the podcast. You can love the videos, but not like one thing or one belief that I have. That's totally fine. You know, we're all, that'd be boring. That'd be boring if no one had their own opinion or if you didn't have your own thoughts. So just be real. Just be real with yourself. Any person calling themselves an anti-diet dietitian. Well, I guess here's the thing. I love the word diet, but I do agree with a principle of what they mean. Because what they mean, the problem is when they say, these people that are calling themselves anti-diet dietitians, here's the problem with the way they say it, the way I like to think of it. Here's where we agree and here's where we differ. I talk about the elimination diet. I like the word diet. I'm not afraid of the word diet. I think a diet we need to reclaim and redesign and rediscuss what the word diet means. Diet is not a bad word. There's two definitions. There's a one where you say, oh, a diet, and it's meant a restrictive approach. And a diet is really just the total sum of what an organism consumes. That's what a diet is. That's how I look at it. So if you do an elimination diet is a strategy in which to determine and to figure out which foods your body works best with. And then you just consume those. And that is your diet. And the manner in which you consume food, whatever that is, vegan, carnivore, pescatarian, whatever that is, that's your diet. So I'm not anti-diet at all. The problem is they go a different direction. They say, fuck it, diet culture, fuck the man, fuck the patriarchy, weight loss, don't lose weight, health at every size. They go like, it's like, yo, whoa. You didn't have to go all there. You didn't have to go all protecting and hugging and trying to suck everyone's dick. A lot of people, they just go real far in the opposite direction. They go real far. They just swing the other, and then they add in all those other activist perceptions. Again, the hashtag health at every size, hashtag fat acceptance, hashtag this, body positivity, intuitive eating. And then it just goes, okay, now you lost me. Now you lost. This is, we're trying to not hurt people's feelings, but we're not fixing the source of the problem. This is a generational issue. This is a generational issue. We are already submerged. So this is like, okay, heroin's not good. Heroin kills a lot of people. There's a huge heroin epidemic. Okay? Wouldn't we all agree that, hey, it's probably a good idea if we could snap our fingers? Let's say we could remove all of it. We could just remove it. I think a lot of people would snap their fingers. Cool, let's get rid of all of it. But we don't touch a goddamn thing about food. What is it? It's violent opposition. No, it's macros. No, you can have a cheat day. It's 10,000 calorie cheat meals. I've said it many times. You never watch videos of people shooting up on YouTube. It's all mukbangs. That's okay. Mukbangs are okay, but watching someone, video record themselves shooting up heroin would not be okay. And I agree with that. But I also agree, and I also think that there isn't much of a difference. One just has a much higher risk in the moment, but the obesity has many, many risks. We're seeing that. We see it all the time. It's not like we don't have an obesity epidemic. Why are so many people overweight? Why are so many people obese? Why? Why do we have such a high percentage? Why is it 40 or 50%? Do we not know that exercise is good? Do we not know that there are better choices than fast food, than processed food? Do we not? We have this information. We're not debating that that there's junk food. We're not debating candy. We're not debating high fructose corn syrup. We're not debating that at all. No, who refutes that, okay, this is not good stuff. You should not be consuming this shit. However, no one does anything to remove it. No one wants you to take it away. People get upset if you take away their alcohol. People get upset if you take away their sugar. People get upset. You tell them they can't have. You tell them that gluten or bread can be causing them problems, or pasta, and people lose their fucking minds, right? People get upset. They get really defensive. They get really protective. They start running their mouth. No one wants their toys taken away. But no one wants their addictions taken away. That's what's really going on. People are addicted to these foods and they don't want to give them up. They don't want to give them up. And it's not hard. It's not hard to do an elimination diet. It's not complicated. It's very simple. You eat these foods and you stay away from these foods. The more foods you stay away from for X amount of time, you'll have the ability and you'll have the control. You essentially reset. And you're able to test and see which foods work best for you. You're self-educating. It's important to educate yourself. And rather than have someone like fucking V-Shred tell you that you're a mesomorph or you're an endomorph. What are you, big boned? You idiots. You're not a rare snowflake. You're a human being. You have differences. And we're learning more and more about epigenetics and DNA and, who might be predisposed to performing better with protein sources or fat sources or carbohydrate sources. But to even talk about the ectomorph, endomorph, like that's a lazy fucking excuse. Someone that's overweight, that's why it kind of took off, because isn't it nicer to be labeled? It's nicer to say you have ADD. It's nicer to say you have OCD. It's nicer to say, oh, I have depression. Oh, I have this. Oh, I'm obese. Oh, I'm a mesomorph. Oh, I'm an endomorph. You put a title to yourself, you give yourself a name and a category, and then it absolves you to a great extent of responsibility for your situation. If you're an endomorph, oh, you're an endomorph. It's just hard for you to lose weight. If you're an endomorph, oh, that's just because you are predisposed to being round. So it's going to be harder for you. So it's okay if you struggle because that's just the way you are. That's a fucking excuse. That's an excuse to stay fat. An ectomorph. Oh, I'm an ectomorph. I'm a hard gainer. No, you're someone who doesn't train hard enough and doesn't eat enough. That's what you are. You don't eat enough. Well, I eat everything. Well, not enough of everything. You just don't eat enough. You're not consistent enough. You're not doing excess enough. I didn't grow up obese. I was slender. I was skinny. Guess what? I ate a lot of food often and I trained hard for almost 20 years. And I wasn't trying to bulk the whole time, but when I was really in my bulking prime, I would say my main focus when bulking was the name of the game, easily from when bulking was like, okay, the most important thing in my, like for me, for my training, it was just like bulking, putting on muscle. I would say 2002. No, I would say that, the focus when I really started doing it properly was 2002. Summer of 2002 was when I really started doing it properly. That summer I did it right, or as right as I could at the moment. It was frequent meals. It was caloric excess. It was training hard. Boom. I was doing it poorly. I was doing too much cardio. I was eating a lot of salads and bullshit. That classic. I'm trying to get lean and ripped. When you're trying to get big in your head, you want to get big. So you stop eating. You just eat salads and chicken salad and stuff, or salad with chicken on it. You're doing a lot of cardio, that kind of stuff. Hey, I'm trying to, bulk up and get shredded. What do you do? 20 years ago, what do you do? People still do this today, but what do? You start running. I want to get in shape. You start running, and you eat some salads. And this is, late 90s, early 2000s. So that still perpetuates in many ways today, but that was more prevalent then. And then you realize, after the school year, after the freshman year in college, I realized, that doesn't work at all. So then I just absorbed everything about bodybuilding I possibly could. And all these bodybuilders ate every 2 hours. So I got a watch. I got one of those like little Timex watches. And I set a timer every 2 hours. Every time I finished my last bite, I set a timer. And then I ate. And I ate this amount and this amount and this amount. The same thing every fucking day. Every 2 hours on the minute. And that's what I did. and it works. So I was bulking, let's see, 2002, when muscle was like the most important thing. I mean, I've always been lifting heavy, but it was just like bulking season. It was a good 6 or 7 years. I would say 2008, 9, or 10. And then I kind of, it started to get to the point. No, I would say, no, that's not true. I mean, then it started fading out, and then I went through different periods. So, I mean, I still kept on growing, and I kept on bulking, but when it was just like bodybuilding, lift, and then I started getting into other phases where I got into some other kind of training. I got into some more like, circuit type stuff, or I got into like trail running a little bit at one point. So I kind of like lost some size, leaned out a little bit. Then I like to bulk back up. So I kind of went through different periods. I experimented with different styles of training and different interests. But for the most part, it was there was a good period where it was just head down, put on size, bulk. And that was easily 5, 6, or 7 years where it was just like, get huge. Oh, I don't have to be careful. Why? Careful for what? When I insinuate? No, I think it's dangerous to not give people agency. Of course it's not simple. What is simple? You could say a mattress is simple. I mean, every mattress looks the same unless you start talking about coil count and then resistance and density and temperature control and materials used and warranties and stuff. I mean, everything's complicated if you get into it. This is an arm. It's also a biceps brachii, and it's the brachial region of the body, and there's nerves, and there's everything's complicated if you get into it. So I think the problem is people feel the victim to too many of these labelings. If you have clinical depression, you shouldn't be watching the fucking Daily Swole podcast. You probably should be talking to your therapist. If you're getting advice on that level, if you're getting medical advice from a YouTube video, you need to reevaluate your sources. But I do understand. Everything's complicated. Everything has layers. But what bothers me about the depression, what bothers me about that is not that it's a laughing matter. It's not that it's not complicated. But with everything else, when you put a label on it, you're a victim to it. Again, it's like you're an endomorph. Oh, you're just that. That's what you are. You're a depressed person. You're bipolar. You have depression. It's like you're not catching the fucking flu. So people don't get to the source. What they go for medication. They go to the standard, boom, 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 boom. But why are we getting worse? This is what I'm talking about before. Again, symptoms. Let's talk about symptoms. Can be genetic, I'm sure. But what those are the symptoms. Those are results. A lot of what people call depression is just low mood, poor nutrition, no purpose, despair. Like you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of different layers of this, but a lot of people just flag it under the umbrella of depression. And then a lot of people that it's not that severe make it severe. And then a lot of people that have it severe don't realize that they're in control of doing a lot more than just medication to handle it. So when you have more control and you have more personal responsibility for how you feel, how you think, and what you're doing in your life, you have more of that. Okay. You realize you have more tools at your disposal. A lot of people don't realize that they have tools at their disposal. Like you can handle a lot of shit, and it's just a sensitive issue, but there isn't enough tough love when it comes to that. So I'm not saying that medication isn't required or recommended. I mean, I never even crossed that boundary. What I do want is people to not, write off meditation and write off mindfulness and write off your ability to change habits that will dramatically change your outcomes and how you feel. A lot of these symptoms are a result of these poor habits. So what do you think it's going to lead to? For example, if you're not sleeping enough every night, if you're eating too many calories, you're eating processed foods, you are not meditating, not doing yoga, not moving enough, those are the actions, those are the habits, those are the things that you're doing, and those are the things that you are omitting and neglecting. What's the symptom? Not being able to see your dick. Obesity. Those are the symptoms. The symptoms is not being able to see your genitalia. That's the result. Those are the symptoms, or that's a symptom of making all those bad habits. Well, there you go. I mean, look, everyone's different. So anyone that ever like talked shit or said like, oh, how come you're telling people not to do medication? Never said that, to go off. Fuck. One, I would never tell anyone to just go off medication. I've actually said the opposite so many times. And if you're watching a YouTube video and then you just go off your medication, you were not getting the help you needed to begin with, because if you're watching a fucking video, it could have been mine, it could have been anyone's, and someone tells you, hey, go jump off a cliff. Oh, okay. Yo, you had some real fucking problems. That's not, unless you're like blatantly like mind controlling someone. There's a lot of instability, but we need more personal responsibility. Otherwise, we're never going to change it. You can't change that shit from the top down. It's like trying to tell someone, hey, you need to lose weight. Okay. Well, they're not going to do it unless they want to do it. We have to have generational and cultural inception. We have to change how we're raising kids, how we are addressing our problems. Again, the 7 pillars. We have to change how we look at these things, because just talking about the symptoms doesn't solve anything. We're taking a bucket and we're just pouring out water, but it's filling up. We're not helping the obesity epidemic. The more we talk about this, the more social media, the more technology, the more information, the more common sense that seems to be available, the less is actually getting applied, because we're still talking about symptoms. We're not talking about the fundamental problems. We're not talking about the pillars. If the pillars were like the Constitution and that was the foundation, that's what we're approaching, it'd be so different. The world would be so different just because people would be paying attention to those things that would take care of their health, specifically about health. Papa Swolio's skinny? I can't imagine. Yeah, I put on muscle. Yeah. Bulking season, fam. Bulking season. All right, we got another welcome to the fam. Welcome, Sophie. I'm sure you meant to say holy cow, but it says holy crow, which is pretty funny. Holy crow. I finally did it. I've been thinking about joining for over a year now. I'm glad I did. I'm a 28-year-old mom to 3. I've battled eating disorders since I was 11, got things under control, and lost 70 pounds after my youngest was born, going from 200 to almost 120 pounds. I'm in good shape, but for the past few months, I've just been in a rut. I've lacked discipline, let my workout routine lapse, let a few shitty staples get back into my diet, and right now I'm riding around 135, and I really miss the energy and confidence I had when I was 10 to 15 pounds lighter. This isn't about the weight. It is about the health for me. I know I can do better. I don't need therapy or coddling. I need a swift kick in the ass. Ooh, yeah.
Yow. Yow.
That's what I hope I can get from the Swole fam, to have a community to hold me accountable and also to give back to, since I've gone through a pretty drastic fitness journey in the past. Looking forward to it. Welcome, Sophie. Welcome to the fam. Oh my God, I'm thirsty today. Oh my God, I'm thirsty today. Sarah, I was 10 times more depressed when I was obese. I have depression now, but it doesn't weigh as heavily on me now. Good one. Hey-o. Hey-o. I see what you did there. I like it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I like it. Yeah, well, most people, even John from Obese to Beast, he does so much content about it. He talks about how your mind is just really in the gutter. It's very self-depreciating, because you know you're damaging yourself. Your hormones are so whacked out when you're obese. D2H, it really fucking pisses me off. We bust our asses at work, barely paying the bills, but these fat fucks make bank from something that doesn't take any form of thought. Oh, you mean the mukbang videos? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's freedom of speech. So one of the things that is important to reiterate is, as much as I would love to be like, I wish YouTube, and I say this, I'm like, YouTube should ban these fucking videos, should strike them. That doesn't make it better. Like, I wouldn't want that to happen. One, come on, I'm getting good content from it, fam. I wouldn't be able to drop as many nuts on chins if they didn't have mukbang videos. But it's freedom of speech. So as much as I hate those videos, I don't want them to not exist because that's not fair. That's dangerous. Like, where do you draw the line? How much can someone eat on a video? Can you watch anyone eat on a video? What's determined healthy? What's determined too much? What if you have, Thor, Bjornsson, right? The power lifter and the world's strongest man. How do you, like, what if he's doing, a 5 or 6,000 or 10,000 calorie challenge? I mean, that's like breakfast for that dude, right? I mean, it's not breakfast, you know what I mean? But that's different. That guy can actually use those calories. That guy needs them to compete. He's an athlete and he competes at a high level and does all that shit. So I don't want them to not be there, but I'm putting my voice out there. If those are going to float around, I'm also going to voice my opinion, add them in there, and then people can make their decisions as is. So if you're looking up those videos and those show up, well, I'm going to make sure mine are also there to reflect my take on the matter. So it's just an opinion piece, but it's a response. But at least at least I'm putting my ball bag on the matter. At least I'm putting my chips in the center. I'm making my opinion known. That's what I think. That's how I feel about that. I'm not saying it's going to stop, nor should it stop, but I don't think it's going to stop as long as there's money. As long as people are making money, it's not going to stop. Will, Chicago's stay-at-home order just extended to the end of May. A lot of people are getting that rude awakening when, let's say a month or two ago, I was saying, oh, it's going to be June, July. And then everyone thought, okay, it's June, July, but they didn't really conceptualize how long that was. And all of a sudden now we're not even in May. I think a lot of people are going to have, like, this isn't going to stop soon. It could go longer than that. There could be a lot longer. It's still going to keep on. It's going to do another 30 days, another 30 days, another 30 days. They can't come out the gate, nor should they really, because you always have to come back and reassess and reevaluate the situation. But I mean, according to any of the projections, I don't see how it stops at the end of May. It's just going to be another 30 days or another 30 days. It's a long time. So, to get, to talk, to just not close the door, but to talk a little bit more about the mukbang things, I don't want them to not have a voice, but I'm just going to have a voice. I'm just going to make mine as loud as I possibly can. Jennifer, the baby boomers were the first TV generation brought up with food commercials, sugary kid cereals, etc. Seems like the obesity started after that. Yeah, that's when they first started using vegetable oils in the 60s and 70s. That's when they had those Mediterranean diet studies. What was that fucking guy's name? Whatever. You could read the history of all that, but they started shifting over from using beef tallow to vegetable oils, and that's when the whole corn thing and soy started kicking off. It's just marketing, and industry when that shit fucking ramped up. I wonder how much things like the Depression had to do with it, and the war and World War II. And just production and machinery and the ability to just do more volume and make food cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. In many industries, it makes sense. Hey, you make something as inexpensive as possible so it could be more affordable. But then when you take that approach to food, then you get a lot of fake foods and you have a lot of side effects. But it benefits. The thing is, it's benefited so many people and there's so much money that's stacked upon itself. You got the student debt, then you have the food companies that make so much on just garbage food. And then you have the pharmaceutical companies that are making so much money on diabetic medication, heart disease, cholesterol, all these different things that are being prescribed, unnecessarily or, necessarily, but improperly because the problem could be avoided. So you have all those situations. You have just billions of dollars. It's this vicious cycle that's all stacked and intertwined and linked together. How do you separate that? How do you take billions? How do you take billions of dollars away from people? How do you take billions of dollars away from people? Hey, we're gonna change how we do student loans. We're gonna change how we create food. We're gonna change how we do pharmaceuticals. We're not going to do it this way anymore.
Yeah, right.
That's one of those great conspiracy theories or things for this. Companies making billions off potential vaccines and separating the classes, and everyone's running their mouth, and no one's wrong, but it's just you can spin things in any different way you want. The question is, what's the actual result? Whether there's conspiracies or whether people are going to profit, people will always profit off pandemics, off natural disasters. People are always going to profit, but what's actually happening? So the real discussion now with the quarantine and the stay at home is, let's not lose rights over it. We have to be very careful, right? You have to be very careful with what we're giving away legally. Let's take care of the sickness. Let's get people feeling better, blah, blah, blah. But let's not give up freedom of speech, and let's be very careful about that. That's what we hope. But then it comes down to the individual. Like, what control do you have? What control do I have? Unless there's a vote like, hey, I can vote on this. Otherwise, it's like the Senate and Congress, and it's like, fuck. How do you stop this shit from happening? And everyone's so distracted watching The Tiger King on Netflix that they're not paying attention. How many of you write your congressman? You write your congresswoman. I'm going to send them an email. How many people do that shit? I mean, there's a lot of people in this world, but how many people do that? Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, what's up, James? I'm loving the Swollen 7 core workouts. Very nice. Awesome, dude. I'm glad. Super glad. Let's see here. The mayor of Las Vegas wants them to reopen and be a test case, a petri dish for the country. Great. Yeah, let's bring as many people as possible into one place and just... what was interesting about the protests? I've been seeing videos of people in the streets protesting, give us back our rights, you can't tell us to stay at home, but they're protesting with gloves on and a mask. And they might be wearing them to be sarcastic, but it's like, you just don't want to get sick. You're hedging your bet. You're hedging your fucking bet, aren't you? Our dumb governor in Florida wants to reopen the beginning of May, but the largest health group in Brevard County says they expect Brevard to peak the beginning of May. Well, they opened the beaches in Jacksonville already. I wonder how that's gonna play out. Christos, I was going to order food tonight, but watching this podcast made me have second thoughts. What do you say, Papa? What do I say? Does it matter what I say? I mean, maybe it matters what I say. If I tell you to make your own food and stop eating shit, are you going to? Here's the thing. Like, there's no reason. Like, I can't care more about your health. I shouldn't care more about your health than you do. Look, you can justify it any way you want. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. If you're not on TikTok, you don't know what I'm talking about. TikTok jokes. It is what it is. It is what it is. Listen to the beard. It's a good idea. What do you mean order food? Order food on Amazon? Order vegetables or order pizza? Here's the thing. What do? You do or you don't? You ate the food you should eat. You trained. You didn't train. You did it. You didn't. You did. You did not. There's no other. It is. That's it. Dude, TikTok is going down. It won't last long. Do you have a TikTok account? Do you use it? What do you know about it? I think that's silly. It's only grown. It's only grown in the last 4 years. It's not brand new. This is how an actual platform, you don't get to this level. You don't get to this point. You don't get to that point. You think it's going down? You don't think China's going to win? You don't think China's winning this battle? Okay. Okay. There's a lot of drama on TikTok now. Where is there not drama? There's drama with every press conference from the fucking White House. Where are you trying to be drama free? There's a lot of drama on TikTok right now. It's like saying there's a lot of oxygen outside. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of nitrogen too. There's more. FYI. Muchos nitrogenos. There's drama everywhere. Oh, yeah. No, I agree. Let me read this. Just more context from Taylor. I was just fucking around. I don't care if you guys use it or not. I'm seeing mad articles of people and businesses who are banning the use of TikTok because of the privacy issues and the danger to kids. Well, the danger to kids, I don't think that is relevant. I think that's a non-issue. You know, when I say a non-issue, I mean, those things work themselves out. Again, that's culture. That's cultural. TikTok is great, depends on how you use it. Instagram's great, depends on how you use it. YouTube Live is great, depends on how you use it. You know, writing a letter is great, depends on how you use it. A phone call can be good or bad, it all depends on how you use it. It's just a form of communication. The thing is, if you didn't have TikTok, you go back to the 1950s, like, hey, look, can we just rewind the clock and not have any kind of like social media? It's better for kids. Kids were bullying each other, beating the shit up out of each other. Kids have been savage since the beginning of time. At least you're not fighting wolves and tigers in the jungle and getting eaten, having a mortality rate of 80% in the woods. It's like kids have been fucking doing shit to each other. It's so bad now. It's just easier. It's up to the parents. No one wants to take responsibility. It's the parenting. It's everything. It's just a different environment. We're not in the jungle. We're in a digital jungle, right? It's all the context. Because you have a lot of kids that are just totally fine. And then you have kids that are hardcore depressed and hardcore this. And there's usually a lot of different factors. And it's hard too, because a lot of it's genetic too. It's not the parents' fault necessarily. You can parent wonderfully and your kid could be just a fucking sociopath. Just genetics, and just a couple helixes that cytosine didn't line up properly or something. I'm trying to think back to my double helix. Adenosine. What was the T? ATGC. Jesus Christ. The shit you learn in school that provides no value. Why? Why do I remember that? Oh, for sure. Well, that's well known. I mean, Facebook has patented technology that can recognize products and stuff in your videos. Like, this is what I've been talking about this. I think we mentioned in the Procast, you know, when you're doing TikToks and you're wearing a certain brand, you know, the phone and the facial recognition, if they can recognize your face, they know if you're wearing Polo Sport, or they know if you have a Coca-Cola in the background, and they can run ads to you, or they can target you and stuff. Of course, China's been using it to collect information. Of course. But every app does that. Every app does that. People act like we're so vulnerable now. Why? Because China knows where you live? Well, so does everyone. They know that I like popcorn. Oh. You're going to get hammered with those. You're going to get hammered with those popcorn ads. Those Redenbacher ads. Punished by those pre-roll ads. It's not perfect. There's no perfect solution. But the solution is not banning shit. It's just using it better. Thymine and guanine. Yeah, thymine was the one. That's true. I agree with that. Because this is life. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hide your kid from TikTok? TikTok exists. You need to teach them how to use it and how to succeed on it. I would say teach the kids how to do it. Teach them how to do it better. Support them, but show them how to do it right. Because here's what I do. You know, when I use TikTok, when I use the platforms, I use it for a purpose. I do things in a certain way. I do things in a method to... Like, I use it so psychologically I'm separated from it. I don't take any of it personally because it's not me. I'm using it as a weapon, right? I'm using it as a loudspeaker to provide a message. I'm separated. Like emotionally, I'm emotionally separated from like the comments and from the engagement. I don't take it personally. It's not a knock on me. It's a business. It's not me personally. Oh, I don't like that guy. I don't care. You don't like Papa Swolio? Give a fuck. Papa Swolio don't give a fuck. He don't. No, he don't. But it exists. So teach people how to use it. Christos, how come that when you say to the people closest to you to start taking care of their health are the ones who tell you to fuck off the most? Probably because they are able to, or they feel more comfortable telling you so. They take it more personally because they care about how you look at them. They just take it more as a jab because you're closer. They feel more vulnerable to you because you know more about them. You're more in their inner circle. That's usually one of those things. It just cuts deeper because that person's closer to your identity and they're closer to how you feel, that emotional trigger. Ooh, there you go. The missus said Papa Swolio is showing up on my feed now. Siri be secretly listening. Yeah. That's a great point, Nat. Also, just want to add personal health is public health. It's true. If you take personal responsibility and you focus on your personal health, and everyone does that, then you have public health. Who gets ads on YouTube? I do. Well, I guess what? If you pay for what YouTube Red, you don't get ads? I want to get ads, though. I want to get ads. I like to know I like to see what people are doing. Destiny Haynes, Facebook tracks what apps and websites you use, even when it's called offline activity and offline conversions. Well, that's what happens when you use logins. So when you go to a site and it says, would you like to use your Facebook login? Facebook is able to know what you're doing on those sites and with those apps. And of course, when you sign up for some of these apps, you don't realize that they're owned by Facebook or they're owned by Google or they're owned by something, or they have in that fine print when you give them permission. Oh, so-and-so wants, permission to access your Facebook account, or Facebook wants access to this, or this app wants access to that. Allowing that app access gives them access to other information, which is why sometimes you'll get a random text from like some spam, or you get a random call because the information, the data that you agreed to share through some of these backdoor and underlying things gives a company your number. And then, so it's your fault, but it's like, if you want, in other words, hey, that's the tool. You want to use this, then you have to, but of course it's very under the table and and skeezy because you're not really clearly explained. It's in the fine print type of thing. So it's our fault, but it's, kind of, it's hardcore omission and they just shove it under the rug. So it's hard to even notice it, kind of thing, Oh yeah, you can get ad blocker things. First thing I think of is YouTube Red or something. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You can just listen to a show. All right, we got another cool. This was awesome, so I appreciate it, Christian. Started Scorched Earth this morning. How many of you did the new Scorched Earth workouts? Started this morning. It was fire. Loved it. It was tough. I'm a hot, sweaty mess. It pushed me physically and mentally, and it was exactly what I needed today to reset my mind and relax my body. I feel strong. I feel ready to conquer this program. Good luck. Just like Taken. Good luck. So much room to grow in this. I can't wait to challenge myself even more as I work this program the next 16 weeks. Boom. Crush it. Fuck yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, let's go. Let's do another one. Got a couple more. Lisa, at a girl. Quarantine 15, not this girl. I weighed in at under 200 pounds for the first time in 10 years. There you go. Still obese, still have a long way to go, but I'm ridiculously happy nonetheless. Good for you. Good for you. Awesome. Aniko, hi everyone. About the elimination diet, what is the situation with eggs? I would like to do the full elimination, but eggs are not mentioned. I guess they're not. Since chicken is on the avoid list, the reason is a lot of people, or some people, have issues from eggs. Some people can have bloating or gas. Some people have issues with hard-boiled eggs, but not regular cooked eggs. If you do, you want to consume pastured eggs. You want to get the highest quality you can. So you can't test anything that you're still consuming. So if you want to make sure and do a full elimination, you should get rid of eggs. But you know, it's one of those things. Whatever you don't get rid of, you can't test. So if you're still consuming eggs, you can't test eggs, and it might be masking something else that's going on. Potentially. It's possible. I thought this was awesome, Siobhan, so I'll share this. This is your niece. There was no face, so I shared the picture. Look at that. Wearing her new Swolenormous t-shirt that I got for her birthday. It's a bit big, but she'll grow into it. It's going to encourage her to make gains. What I laughed, Siobhan, when I saw this picture, is that's what I was doing when I was bulking. I used to buy, and this is a good look, this worked for me when I was trying to put on size, when bulking up was the biggest fucking thing, was the most important thing in my life. I used to buy all my clothes big. So I bought big shirts because I wanted to grow into them. And it was great that after like several years, I started wearing those shirts, or over the time building up, they used to get super, super tight. And a shirt that used to be baggy, extra large, all of a sudden was like skin tight. It's awesome. And I got another post I wanted to cover. Good question. Katie says, new member, welcome. It's like a chicken. Welcome to the Swole fam. Should you work out when your muscles are sore? Help solve a debate between my husband and I. I did a total body strength workout yesterday, one of Papa Swolio's total body ignite routines. Today, I told my hubby I was going to do lower body strength workout. He said I should rest and just focus on yoga and mobility. I like this guy. Katie. You got to keep her. I had a shit ton of energy, so I just decided to go for a 2-mile run, but my quads were super tight and my time sucked, 20 seconds more than my usual time. He thinks I wasted my time. I think I was just pushing myself to do, quote, some workout today. Thoughts? Probably both, to be honest. I don't think you wasted your time. You risked an injury, potentially. You might have been if anything, you were at a higher risk because you might have been under recovered, like he was mentioning. So I don't think it's clear cut. Who knows? Your time could have sucked just because you didn't put enough effort in. It could have just felt harder. But if you did a total body strength workout yesterday, then you ran, you're probably still sore. You probably could have done both. You probably could have done a mobility flow and then gone for a run. That probably would have been better, to mobilize and then see how you felt afterwards. You might have gotten enough energy out. I personally would have recommended to do yoga and do like a more challenging flow, do a level 2 or a level 3 flow. That's what I would have said. So I would have agreed with him. It doesn't mean that obviously you didn't hurt yourself, which is good, but it doesn't mean that you wasted it. But look, there's always those times when you do a workout. And you look back and you're thinking, oh, I should have done this, or you ended up going to the gym or doing something a certain way and it just didn't hit properly. You're like, oh, that kind of sucked. Like I've had better workouts, you know? So that's one of those things that hindsight's 2020. Hindsight's always 2020. So you can't hang your hat on that, you know? You can't assume like it would have been different. Maybe you would have done yoga and gotten hurt. Maybe you've had a terrible yoga session. Maybe that was a perfect workout for you. So it doesn't really matter worrying about it. Just next time, do the opposite. Do yoga and then see how you like it. Vanessa, does anyone else have difficulty to digest kale? Yeah, fuck kale. A lot of people do. kale is hardcore for heavy metals. I really don't prefer kale. I think we have a couple recipes in the recipe archive, but I never recommend it. I think there's better things to consume. Eat some cruciferous vegetables. Eat some broccoli. Eat some broccoli. You'll do better. You'll do better eating some actual like asparagus or some broccoli. Fuck kale. Hey, Papa, you're a clever guy. What does that mean? I'm clever? I'm a cunning linguist. Is that what you're saying? And I wanted to know what your thought on veganism for a moral, ethical standpoint. What do you mean? From a moral standpoint? There's no other way to think about it. That's what it is. From a moral, don't kill things. I think it's delusional. I mean, I don't think it's evil. But I mean, I think it's used as a weapon. It's compassion disguised as compulsion or compelled. You know, it's people that want, for the ones that are activists over it, it's people that want control. It's people that want control, and they're using this leverage of compassion to mask that agenda. Because what are they trying to do? They're trying to get people to not do things. They're trying to force people to not eat naturally, to not eat foods that you're supposed to fucking eat. So you're trying to coerce people into not doing something or to doing something. That's manipulation. However, you know, I mean, that's a problem. You want to live in this foofy make-believe world where nothing dies. Where are you going to put, what I always wonder is, where are you going to put all these animals? Let's say you don't eat any animals. Where are they going? What do you think is going to happen? You're not going to be able to drive a car. Like, where are they going to go? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Even by being a vegan, animals are getting killed, creatures are getting killed. So you don't win either way. So it just needs more context. That's a vague question. It's like, what do you think about veganism? It's like, if you want to do it, do it. I don't care if people do it. If you really feel better and you like it and you're healthy and you're handling it for yourself and you eat the way you want, like, do it. It's just when you're trying to make other people do something. And I'm not trying to make people take care of their health. I'm just laying it out there. Like, this is how I feel you should be doing, but what am I going to do? You can't force people to do it. That's why you can't treat the symptoms. You have to treat the psychology and the reason why people are eating like shit to begin with. Like, what's the reason for that? Why are you trying to harm yourself? So let's see. We'll get some more stories going tomorrow. Let's give away the Swole card. We got some Swolecial distancing going on. So we got to wrap up this episode. Didn't realize what time it was. So let's get on with this, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll continue this, because I certainly don't mind talking more about this kind of concept, but it can get so deep. It just needs more angles. A more comprehensive approach. It needs to be a little more specific, but yeah, I mean, I don't recommend it to people. Here's the thing. If you're doing an elimination diet and it takes you that direction, then fine. Do it for your health. I just don't like it from the moral reasons, but that's all it is. It's a moral approach. It's like a religious approach. Otherwise, people call it plant-based. So that's like the different lingos. People want to be a part of a team. They want a community. I mean, hey, we have the Swole fam, so that's normal, but people like to belong somewhere. And if you don't have a team, if you don't have that sense of belonging, people look for it. And it's one of those attractive things like fat acceptance that can trap a lot of people. Some people do it authentically. That's who they are. That's what they want to do. That's what they love. And that's fine. But a lot of people just do it because, oh, my friends are here. That kind of thing. They do it because of the other aspects that aren't really authentic themselves. The circle of life. All right, social distancing. Let's give away the Swole ambitions. Boom. Social distancing. Let's get this fucking party started. Who's got some social distancing? Who wants a card? Who wants a card? Come on now. Get on with your bad self. Social distancing. No, one more at the buzzer. And no, let's do another round. We're up at the top. Old school. Back where the trolling. People were trolling earlier. Remember those comments? No. Last one. No. Brandon Manning. Congratulations at the buzzer. Very nice. Congratulations, Brandon. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Everyone say congratulations, Brandon, for winning today's Swole card. Episode 1448, signed by your boy. P.S. Congratulations. Everyone say congratulations, Brandon. Congratulations. Be nice. Be nice.
Come on, stop whining.
Don't be a little beesh. You might win tomorrow. You might win tomorrow. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. God damn it. So, Brandon, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com with Swole card 1448 in the subject. And, of course, your mailing address in the body of the email. And we'll get you that Swole card ASAP. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1448 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow for episode 1449. Peace, McGeese, Deuce, Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swolio. Oh, 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 oh.